I go back to Road America to the late 60s, so basically I was one of those few fortunate guys that drove here in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Well, I'm amazed because I can say that in my career, that's the only circuit in the world that is virtually unchanged in its layout.
And to me, this is the most natural track in North America. I have a lot of fond memories of Elkhart Lake, and I'm just glad I'm still alive to come back here and celebrate 50 years.
The majority of all of the drivers that have raced in the various series that race here will take this, they'll tell you Road America is their favorite course. And of course it is, and it's the best.
I started coming to Elkhart Lake in about 1959 with my father, who raced here for many years, and I was not able to race here really until I was 21 because the laws back then were you couldn't race till you're 21. So 1974 is when I first raced here, and it was a thrill because I'd come to this track to watch him and watch the greatest drivers in the world race here over all those years, and to finally be able to drive this unbelievably wonderful circuit was a dream come true for me.
Well, this is still a real track. I mean, we used to have similar kind of tracks in Europe, let's say 10, 15 years ago.
The track's a lot of fun to drive. It's really fast.
Of course, turn one is very challenging because you brake very late, you turn in, normally you have a little bit understeering coming out, you try to get the speed up as quick as you can.
Down the hill into turn number 5, the left-hander down through the sequential gearbox.
Turn 5 is a perfect overtaking opportunity. It's a straight shot down to it. A little bit of a left kink before you get there, which means you can take a line to block somebody, but generally speaking, turn 5 is the absolute perfect overtaking corner. And turn 6 can be pretty good too sometimes.
Carousel is very, very tricky. It's long. Normally you start to push a little bit too early, you start to get a little bit too much push, so you have to back off and you lose speed. So you really need to be patient there and get the car right.
I like the kink a lot. It's a real gut check, and it's a challenge, and you never know what's around the other side.
And going down into Canada, it's really cool, going down through the trees.
Uh, 13 is very good too because it's kind of a blind, fast sweeper.
Definitely the speeds are the best thing because running with people at high speeds is so much fun. Yeah, it's dangerous and scary, but...
And every year you are here, you learn a little bit more about the place.
Well, the first lap out here in this particular track is very daunting.
You think you know what you're doing, and you get out there and you go, I have no idea where I am. What is the next corner? In time it comes, and it obviously becomes fun, or we wouldn't keep doing it.
You know, a lot of people who come here for the first time, I talk to them and I say, Road America is an easy track to drive on, a very hard track to go fast on. I like the challenge. I've learned how to go fast here. It took me about 10 years.
For the drivers, it's interesting because, you know, versus a racetrack where you have a 1-minute lap time, you don't see the corners as much here. You know, the car goes by and you click the stopwatch, and then you got a long time to think about everything that's going wrong. So it's a lot harder that way.
The big thing about the track that really that stays with you is the beauty and the changes that occur, and a lot of it you're kind of all by yourself and going through this beautiful forest and stuff like that.
This track is unique. There's no track in the country that has the legend that Road America has, because it's unquestionably the most competitive track around.
I couldn't count the number of times that I'm traveling. Somebody says, you know, they say, oh, you're the governor of Wisconsin. I'll say yes. And if they are involved in racing in any way, as a spectator, obviously as a participant, they will almost always say, well, I've been to Elkhart Lake, I've been to Road America. You know, it's like the Green Bay Packers. It's like Harley Davidson. Something that people really associate with the state of Wisconsin.